Hi, guys. My name is Girish Bali, your host for today. This is Back to Basics. Now, today we have a guest. It'll be a surprising guest. So, this guest is a worker and a winner and a feminist. There's a whole bunch of stuff there, right? I mean, it seems like there's three people the way I'm mentioning it, but it's actually one person. Now, this person, okay, she has entered into a Indian show called KBC. It's a short version of called Kaun Banega Crorepati, right? This is a Indian show, and the English show of this, because it's like a spin-off to the other countries, is called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right? So in Indian version, that's what it is, KBC. We call that short. So throughout the show, we're gonna say KBC because the whole three words is gonna take a long sentence. Okay, so just keep that in mind, guys. So the reason why I called her is she entered into this show, if I'm not mistaken, during the pandemic times. Okay, and she has won 1 crore rupees. Okay, now if you think about it, around the world, nobody knows what 1 crore is, but 1 crore equals to roughly 140,000 US dollars. That's a lot of money in India if you think about it. And it's tough to get there. There's 16 questions and she's answered 15. It's amazing how she has grown in that. So today we're going to invite a guest on this show, and she's going to tell us how she got there, and then she's going to talk about some other items too. So let's invite Nazia Azim. Nazia, how are you doing today? Thank you for coming on the show.
Hi, Girish. Morning, good evening, everybody who's listening to this podcast all over the world. And that's a pretty decent introduction of me, and I really don't think I deserve so much attention. But thank you so much for having me over. And like you introduced me, I'm a worker, I'm a winner, I'm a mother, I'm a feminist. So there are so many things that that I can be, and it's a complete honor, Girish, for me to be on your show. And I love the title of the show, and when you say back to basics, because in all our lives also, I think the times that we're living in is absolutely teaching us how to get back to basics, right?
That's
And it
right.
ultimately boils down to that. So thank you so much, and I'm really looking forward to this conversation with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining here. So, uh, I was watching this show. I was quite impressed that there are 16 questions, and out of the 16 questions, and I think if I'm not mistaken, on the 12th question, that's your first
That's
lifeline
right.
that you used.
Yes.
So that was quite amazing. That's the first thing. Then, and then it seems like you were guessing yourself uh,
Mm-hmm.
on those questions. And then the host of that show, KBC, is one of the biggest superstars that we know in India, is Amitabh Bachchan. Okay, he is a Bollywood star for 40 plus years. So he was the host of that show, and he kept on mentioning it to you that follow your gut, but it seems like you were still hesitant to answer. You want to express that feeling on that part?
No, actually, you know what? KBC is actually the show of a lot of grit, a lot of tact. I won't say that I was second guessing myself, but there are things, and when actually have questions that you think that are a little tough, I think one of the tips that I would want to give to your listeners and for everybody who's wanting to or aspiring to be on KBC someday is that there is a very beautiful thing called elimination, and when you actually have four options in front of you, you might not know the correct answer, but through the trick of elimination, you can absolutely arrive on the correct answer, right? So if you see the show, I was doing a lot of talking, right? And my family jokingly tells me that I didn't let Mr. Bachchan talk enough on the show because I was so busy talking. So that was happening because I was trying to reach on to the correct answer, thinking, constantly processing information, because Girish, in my mind, I was really wanting to go ahead, and that is what I was focusing on at that moment in time. In terms of in that question, I have to give my 100%. Whatever I've read, whatever I've known, whatever I've assimilated over the years, that needed to come out. So there was a lot of talking. There was a lot of talking to myself, and then not really second guessing, but yeah, just making sure that I don't waste my lifelines. I use them wisely. I only use them when I really need them. So
Yes.
I was thinking, on those lines.
So, you brought up a point, and I was going to bring it up. When you were
Mm-hmm.
in that show, you were talking to yourself as a third person to answer that. It was quite funny, actually, because that's what Mr. Bachchan was also saying, that are you talking to yourself, or are you trying to read out loud? And that's a very good habit of doing that.
Yeah.
To um, to get the question into your mind and answer it correctly.
True.
Okay, and
True.
I
That's
think
correct. Yeah.
it's an amazing. So, was there any studying done for this, or did you just knew a whole bunch of reading and current affairs, or even entertainment also?
Yeah, but it's like life, right? It's like a journey, and you kind of you go onto that journey and you keep adding so much to your life. I think KBC is a test of that. And when you're reading, you cannot prepare for KBC in 6 months, right? I did study some bit. I refreshed a lot of stuff around geography, around polity, around sports awards. But yes, I think it really tests your capability as an individual and what you do, what you have done all these years. Like, they talk to you about your likes, dislikes, your area of interest and all that. So I think all that comes into picture of whatever you have read, whatever you've educated yourself on, because, knowledge is everywhere, right? You have some questions are such as if you did not study for it, but at some juncture in your life you came across that and you know the answer, right? So many a times I really compared this entire episode as a Slumdog Millionaire,
Yeah.
because I remember at a time when there was a question around Catherine Sullivan, the astronaut who went to space, and the Mariana Trench both. And
Yes.
you won't believe it got stuck in my mind because when this news came out, I was teaching this to my son, and somehow I remembered that bleakly that my needle just kept going to Catherine Sullivan, but then I had a lifeline and I did not want to take a chance, so I kind of did not say that answer, but it was right. So I was like, connecting that dots. So KBC is also like connecting those dots. And obviously, it is a test of a lot of knowledge that you have gained all your life, not
Yeah,
in the 6 months or the time span that you're given.
that is correct. So, out of the 15 questions, right?
Mhm.
So, have you noticed that all those 15 questions is really not much of entertainment or music? Have you
Yes,
noticed that?
I did.
Because
I did notice.
so it was a little tough. It was not an easy 15 questions, because there sometimes you get easy ones, but
Yes,
the
yes.
whole 15 was kind of tough. Actually, all the way down to the 16th, because you tried, but it was quite tough. So on each step, the first question was 1,000 rupees, and then you went up, right? How did you feel that from that aspect? Were you getting nervous till you get to the 3 lakh question?
Not really nervous because, I don't know. A lot of people have really asked me, Girish. I am somebody who was born and raised in a small town, and I did not have much exposure till the time I came to Delhi to do my postgrad. And in back in the 90s, the small town children were very underconfident, and English is not their first language. And even after they study in English medium schools, they do not have the confidence to talk in English or talk to a person so confidently. But I think with me, I'm a communications manager with Royal Enfield. I've been into corporate communications for the longest time I've known. But I think my role as such gives me a lot of exposure to talk to senior people, to talk to media, to talk to a lot of other people across the world. So I think, when I sat on that hot seat, I was taking that as an opportunity, as a pedestal to talk about things I really hold close to my heart. So I wanted to make the most of that. And even when the KBC teams briefs you before the shooting begins, they tell you that you're one in a million, and not everybody gets to meet Mr. Bachchan so closely. So you've kind of crossed the fastest finger first, and you're getting to sit on this hot seat. So make the most of it and make sure that you sit the longest. So it was going on in my mind, and question after question, and when I started kind of passing those hurdles, I was getting more confident because I was saving lifelines for myself and I was getting ahead in the game. So I was a rollover contestant the next day as well. So I remember going back to the hotel with my family, my mother and my husband, and we didn't sleep the entire night. And my husband and I were really discussing as to, what is going to be the strategy, and, how am I going to save my lifeline? And I'm getting a bit nervous. What if I go to, 320 without a lifeline? It becomes easier because then the time limit is not there. And then, you get more time. To that, my husband just said that, go and play your game and just be happy. You've already made it big because, you're already there on the hot seat. And that really kind of, resonated with me. So next day I went there and with more confidence, with more energy. And I really thought that, it's a game. But, when the questions started appearing on the computer screen, I really focused on the questions and I really wanted to use my lifelines, wisely. I don't know what was it, spiritual, hand of God, whatever. But I think, it was an absolutely amazing moment. And I think I made the most of it.
Yeah.
Not getting scared, not getting nervous at all.
So Nazia, I have a question. So it's a two-part question, right? So
Right.
when your son came on screen, okay,
Mm-hmm.
when Mr. Bachchan actually asked him that your mother won this, right?
Yeah.
He was not surprised, or he was like, what the hell is happening? So that's first question. The second question is, when you came home, did he act a little different or was it the same?
So, good that you brought this up because, I was talking to somebody, or actually, I was reading this comment on YouTube that somebody mentioned, and it also struck with me, when I saw Daniel on screen and later kind of, thought about his reaction. So, children are like pure souls, right? Their love for their parents is so pure. So when Mr. Bachchan told Daniel that, do you know, and I said that, do you know what I won? I won 1 crore. And he said, really? And Pat comes his reply that when are you going to come home?
Yeah.
That's that was going on in his mind. Money, winning, fame. He's too young to understand that, right? He's seen Mr. Bachchan on TV, on the big screen, a lot of times, but he doesn't realize the value that, he addressed to him directly. He spoke his name and he talked to him and all that. Maybe, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, he will understand that.
Yes.
So I think they're like clay, right? They're being molded, and that's what makes them so pure. So for Daniel, it was so important for his mother to come back home because he was there in the hotel
Yes.
with his grandfather. And I think, somewhere down the line, I think we all should be like him. No amount of fame, no amount of money, I think should make a difference. And it really touched me, his reaction,
Of
because he was
course.
only thinking about that my mom's not around and she needs to come back. And even when I went to the hotel, he was not talking about the money. But now when we came to Delhi after the winning, and he knew when he saw the promo on the TV, I think that's when he figured out that something good has happened, something big has happened. My mother's famous now because I'm watching her on TV. And that's when he said, Mr. Bachchan has told you to give me all the money, so give me all the money. So
So
that realization has come now.
so Nazia, you Mr. Bachchan or someone must have asked you a question when you win this prize. What are you gonna do? Did you do exactly that?
Well, for one, I have not got the money as of now. There are some processes that they need to follow. But yes, I'm going to do exactly what I said, in terms of taking care of the health requirements of my both set of parents, because, health, they're all aging and healthcare is expensive. So I really want to invest in that. Second, Daniel's a budding footballer and he
Yes.
really wants to play, football internationally someday. So he's kind of, visualized in his mind of meeting Messi someday and, flying in the plane with Neymar and Messi and his all sorts of fantasies of football, right? So I just hope that, there is some amount of training that I can give him and invest in his future for him to become a big soccer player someday. So yeah, these are certain little things that I really want to focus on apart from, the other social bits that I would be doing with this money. But honestly, Girish, I don't know if how many people would believe me, but I have not really thought about the money. I mean, I don't think about the money because I have not got the time to think about the money. Ever since, the the episode has been telecast, and people have been just reaching out to me left, right, and center. I've been meeting people. Take your example for that matter. I was so overwhelmed and pleasantly surprised that, I was like really taken aback that why would you even want to do that? Is it that big a feat? Is it so important? But these are things that have really been, what to say, I'm like so overwhelmed, so emotional about this entire thing of so much love, appreciation, kindness from all over the world. You won't believe, I've spoken to kids ranging from 5-year old to people to 85, 90 years old who have been calling me across the world. There was this gentleman who wrote to me from Bahrain, saying that he wants his daughters to be like me, and he watched the show with his entire family. So I think those are the real treasures that KBC has given me a platform to talk about the issues that I really believe in. And more power to my voice. Mr. Bachchan resonated so much that I said, and I think that is what has really made a difference in my life.
Yes, I mean, I contacted you because of KBC, but throughout the show, you kind of inspired me of contacting you of what you believe in, and that's the reason why I called you. So we wanted to go back to basics as to who you are.
Yeah.
Now let's forget about KBC for a second. So now let's talk about you. What is something that people don't know about you? Let's talk about that.
You know what? I have been very vocal ever since I was a small girl, and I remember that people in my family, my uncles and aunts, would actually pay me to keep quiet. They would say, "Look at the clock, and stay quiet for 5 minutes, and you'll get a 5 star or something like that." But I never won anything because I just couldn't stay quiet even for like 2 minutes. And I think I've been very vocal about a lot of things. I am a staunch feminist at heart, and not many people knew this before KBC. So after KBC, a lot of people have come back to me talking about these things, what I feel about women and what I feel about gender equality. I think that is very important. And, the kind of things that we can do in our homes to kind of give more power to the girls, to the women who are dreaming big, or at least, aspiring to do something in their lives. Because I take a lot of, I take a lot of examples from my own life and my own growing up in a small city called Ranchi, which is in Jharkhand in India. And it used to be very difficult for girls. It still is difficult for girls and women across the world, and not just India. I mean, they're seen as a second gender. So I think after KBC, a lot. I have got more courage to talk about it, Girish, honestly, because I know that there are so many people who are willing to listen. I really want to talk about the role of men in kind of, the entire empowerment bit for women, and, how they are the enablers, and women in our own homes, and how men are being raised, how we are raising our own boys. So I think after KBC, the real Nazia, or what I really feel about being a woman and how the lives of women should be, how the freedom of opinion or freedom of choice should be given to them, and they should be controlling their own lives. I think, my voice, my words, my work should actually speak about that a lot.
But the word feminist is not really women only, isn't it? I
No.
mean, it's men also. So people,
Ah,
so when they
yeah.
when they hear the word feminist, they only think of female, which is kind of
Not
incorrect.
only
So
females, they think about females who hate males. So that's the definition of
that is the
females.
definition, right? Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
So
So,
so
sorry, go ahead.
how do we change that? Because I think one of your sentences in the show, you said that my husband does cleaning, so that's a little slow movement to the feminine side of things, and equality actually more.
Yeah.
So do you agree with that?
I agree with that. In fact, there is nothing wrong in cleaning. Who said cleaning was the job of a female? Who set that precedence in the first place, right?
Right.
Because I was born to a man who used to do cleaning in the house, who used to do laundry, who used to cook, and had a full time job as well. And he really believed. My father, he really believed in helping my mother in everyday chores, right?
Yes.
So when I went onto the show, and there was a question in which we were listening to a clip by Smriti Irani, and she was saying that in the lockdown, a lot of men and boys learned how to do jhadu pocha, like, mopping the floor and cleaning the house. And, so she was kind of, nudging them to do that on a daily basis and keep helping their women in the house. And then we started this conversation that, when a man in India makes a cup of tea, uh, he is, crowned as a prince. Like, oh my God, my husband made tea for me. What a moment. But it's just normal work. It's normal household work. We as women have been doing that for centuries and taking no credit out of it, right?
Hmm.
So I think that is what needs to change. Women need to stop patronizing men for doing small little stuff, as in, one day if he makes the dinner, no big deal. He's
Yes,
your
yes.
partner, he's your equal, right?
So Nadia, I want to tell the audience and the listeners about some few things here. So, there is a movie from Mr. Bachchan. Okay, the movie's name is Pink. Now, in one of the interviews that he mentioned when he was promoting this movie, who made the rule that a doll should go to a girl or a gun should go or a car should go to a boy? Who makes that rule? Nobody makes that rule. It's actually more of a society thinking needs to change a little. And that's what Nazia is trying to do. We're trying to make the thought process a little change. It is a hard task because we are fighting society for that. But if you don't start from home,
Yeah.
then it will not work. And that's what Nazia and myself are doing. I'm teaching my kids the same way, a similar way. So why can't we start home and then expand out? For example, I live in the United States, and when I meet my family in India, there are certain times that I go into the kitchen and help out. That doesn't mean that I'm a less person. I'm here
Yeah.
to help each other out. For example, if you think about it, guys, when we tell our spouses that I'm helping you in the house, you're not helping, you're contributing. There's a word that you have to change the words. So that's what we're trying to do here. So Nazia, so what do you think? What has that changed in your household? I mean, I think your husband
Yes.
has, but anyone
No,
else?
it is, because how else would you change the world? You talk about the society. How else would you change the society if you don't change your home? If you
Yes,
don't call out the bluff in your own families, nobody's going to listen to you, right?
that's
And
right.
I use this more often than not, right? Saying that you're calling out the bluff in your own families,
Yeah,
even if it means upsetting your parents a bit. Please go ahead and upset them. It's okay. You're fighting for the right thing. You're doing the right thing. So when Mr. Bachchan said that, does your husband help you? Did he help you in COVID times and all that? I said, I don't care. COVID, no COVID. We just live a normal life where,
yes,
the work of the house is work of the house. It is not the work of the person. So whosoever is available does that work, right? Whether it's cleaning, if he doesn't know how to cook, he will cook up something very basic, or he'll order in, right? But he will not keep waiting for me to come back from office at 10 o'clock in the night and cook dinner for him. No, that's a wrong expectation. Your wife is your equal. Your wife is not your servant, right?
yes,
So, one, men need to stop doing that. Second, women need to stop accepting that as a routine, as a normal. Because if you have children in the house and they grow up seeing that a woman is the cleaner and the cook, and she is like, like of kind of a lesser human, then they become absolutely like their fathers. And
hmm,
then they get married and have partners, and they live with women and they do the same thing to them. So how
yes,
is how is that circle going to break? How is that chain going to break? So it needs to break right there in the family. You need to put your foot down and say, no, it is work. It is not the work of a particular gender.
yeah,
And that's how
yeah.
it's going to change.
So Nazia, so let's go back to KBC a little, if you don't mind. So,
Yeah, sure.
so, uh, so on the 12th and the 14th question, I think it must have, um, maybe was it, should I say pissed that you didn't know the answer, and why did I use my lifeline, or you didn't want to take that chance?
No,
And
I
I
didn't
think
want to take that
so.
chance.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
I think the
So
12th. I think the 12th question was something to do with the dynasty, right? So
yes, the one who defeated, which defeated the Mauryas. No, sorry.
yeah. So the
Yeah.
question, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's which of the following dynasty did the Kavya dynasty overthrown to come to the power of
Yeah.
the seven. And first of all, when Mr. Bachchan mentioned about the BCE, I didn't realize that was something new that they have
Oh,
changed.
really? Okay.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
learn as we go on these shows, right?
True.
So
True. Absolutely.
so did you know the answer, or did you say I don't want to take that risk?
See, I was again eliminating at that point in time because I knew for a fact that it was not Maurya. It had to be, either of the two. Because, in the scheme of things, Girish, honestly, you do not have a lot of time to kind of, go through everything in detail. So you
Yes.
cover a lot. You just keep passing through the pages or listening to YouTube videos. So it was there, like, I studied the chronology, but I knew that it could be the two of one of the two. So I said that it could be one of the two, but obviously I had lifelines, and I couldn't take lifelines home, right? So I thought I'm already playing for 12 and a half, so let me just go ahead and use it. So in on that question, I think I used 50-50, and then on the 13th question, I think I didn't use a lifeline then. It was a
No,
question on
you did it on
Australian
the
Open.
14th.
Yes, so I did it on I did it on the 14th. I think I used two lifelines there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that must have pissed you off when you use the two lifelines, right?
Not really pissed, as in, I was very content. I was very content in my
Yes.
heart. And I have never felt this spiritual ever in my life, because I really felt some superpower, like, around me. There was some energy, like you can feel energy, right? And there was some kind of energy around me, and I thought I was just doing pretty okay. So even if I had won 50, and if you observed the show closely, I did not use flip the question when I was on 50 lakhs. I used
Yes.
Ask the Expert, because I really wanted to grab whatever I can, because Ask the Expert is one of the most short lifelines that you can use, right? So many people on the sets also told me that, Nazia, that was a master stroke. Many people, 99 out of 100 people would have used flip the question there, and you used Ask the Expert. Why? And I said that, I knew for a fact that I can take 50 lakhs home. So why should I even think about the 1 crore that I haven't even reached now?
But
So I think,
when you asked that question to the expert, I think you kind of knew the answer.
uh,
I think you had a feeling that that was the answer when she mentioned it.
I was, but many people also kind of bash me for the fact that I was asking the expert again and again. Are you sure, ma'am? Are you sure,
I
ma'am?
know.
And I was like, oh, that was very funny. So when I look back at the playback, I really think, yeah, maybe I just went overboard by asking her if she was sure or not. But she said that I am sure, but the decision is yours. So I felt a little embarrassed later.
But that's okay. That's okay. I mean, that, you know what, it is a big amount, so
It
that's
is,
why we get panicky inside.
yeah.
So and then between the first crore and the 7 crore jackpot question,
Hmm.
did you actually know the answer?
No, I didn't.
You did
I
not.
didn't. No,
None at all.
I
And
was
then I guess now
no.
you do.
Now I do. Yes, now I know a lot of things, right? But yeah, I didn't know the answer. Yeah, for sure.
So you did KBC, you're working full time, you have a family, and they're all blessed with the good things happening now. So now for the next, let's say, 5 years, what do we see from Nazia?
I have no clue in the next 5 years what I'm going to do. But yes, as a routine in life, I think I need to be very vocal about things that I really believe in, because I need to find the right platforms. And I've been talking about this, right? So if you see any of my interviews across, platforms, I made sure that, whatever airtime I'm getting, whatever attention I'm getting, I'm definitely talking about girls. I'm definitely talking about women. Whatever is in my power, I will do that. And I will continue to be very vocal about women rights and girl child rights and gender equality, and whatever. I'll call out the wrong that's being done to girls in the name of, like, anything, in the name of pride or whatever, and small little things, right, that we tend to ignore in our own households. I'm going to call that out more often and encourage other people to do that.
Sure, sure. So keep on doing what you're doing. It seems like, I'm following you on Facebook, and you went to one of the schools. It's very
Yeah.
inspiring that um, it yes, I know that you're not a celebrity, but for local and normal people and middle class people, you are a celebrity and you're a good voice, and you should just keep on doing what you're doing. This is how I
Right.
feel.
And I really think that as women, it is also upon us to support other women. For example, there is another girl from my own city who went on to win 12.5 lakhs. And I was in Ranchi at that time, I think last week. And I made sure that, I went and met her, and she was so overwhelmed, and she kept on asking me that, you won 1 crore. Why would you even come and meet me? I said, it's not about the money. We need to tell people it's not about the money. It's about, breaking away from the shackles of a small town and, misogyny and patriarchy, and, saying that, okay, I have this will to do this, and I trying out for new things, and then again passing so many hurdles and being on that hot seat. I think that is what matters.
Mm.
Money, I've always said, is a consequence of things, right? You work, you get money. It's not that you have money and then you work, right? So
Yes.
money will come as a result. It's a byproduct. So whatever you're good at, money will follow you. But you need to follow your heart and do something that you really believe in. Make a
Yep.
mark, stand out, fight. Fight with your own family for your rights. Tell them that you're not right. So, I think that is what is important. And as women, we need to be lifting other women. We need to be supporting other women. And I am going to be talking about that.
Okay. I'm so glad that we're gonna talk about this. So, Nazia, one last words before we leave, and what do you think of Back to Basics helped you in today's episode?
Well, I think, it really took me down the memory lane, Girish, and we spoke about so many things, and it's so right. And you and I were chatting before the podcast, and I said that back to basics is basically, it's the most apt thing to do, to say in times of the pandemic. And to whosoever is listening across the world, I would say that, please sign up for Back to Basics, keep listening to it. I think life is ultimately boiling down to that, because we're living in a world where there's a new normal of only surviving in basics and understanding what the basic joys of life are. So I think back to basics is the thing of the time, and we really need to be following this for more back to basic stuff of life.
That's why my motto of the show, as you always know, is everything in life is going back to basics, and that's what.
Everything's like going back to basics, absolutely. And what better time to do this?
Yes, yes, that is true. But Nazia, thank you again for your time. And we are going to be ending the show for today. But thank you for coming. And I'm so honored that you are in our show.
The pleasure is all mine, Girish. Thank you so much, and I'm going to tell all my friends to keep listening to Back to Basics for more life-inspiring stories and more inspiring people that you get
Yes,
onto the show.
please. Thank you so much, Nazia, for all your support on this show.
And best of luck to you. Take
Thank you.
care. Have a great
S-
day.
Hey guys, thank you for joining. So as usual, we have an inspiring show, and Nazia has shown what she's doing and what she's going to be doing in the next couple of years. And as usual, as always, there is a quote of the day. But actually, the way I say quote of the day, today is going to be two quotes, because you know what, we have well, you know what, the quote is going to say everything. How about that? So here it is. So the quote of the day is professionally, I feel like I won lottery and I am luckiest person in the entire world. That's by Joe Hill. Okay. And the other quote is, feminist is anyone who recognizes the equality and the full humanity of women and men. And that's by Gloria Estep. Okay. So I hope you guys are enjoying your day and your week, and I hope I give you quality guests as usual. Keep on subscribing, keep on liking, good comments, bad comments. It makes my show strong, and then I will keep on improving, and I'll keep on listening to you guys. As always, at the end of the show, I always say everything in life goes back to basics, and that's what we did today, guys. Thank you, and enjoy your week, and I will see you next week. Thank you.